Okay, boom. So I have two of the new phones here in the Samsung Galaxy S22 lineup. So I have the S22 and the S22 Ultra, and the one missing is the S22 Plus. But for today's video, the first one, I'm going to be unboxing the big boy here, the one with all the features, the S22 Ultra. And the packaging is slim just like last year, no plastic, so that's good for the environment. But let's take the lid off and see what color we get, but I'm assuming by the color on the S of the box, what we're going to be getting. And confirmed, yes, so we have the burgundy color here. So this phone does come in 4 colors to choose from. So you got the Phantom Black, you got the Phantom White, you got green, and you got the burgundy like I have right here. And so I like this. So this definitely is a little bit more subdued from the bronze color here. I think it was Mystic Bronze, I believe, or maybe it was a Phantom Bronze. I can't remember, but the bronze here on the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra here. But honestly, I'm just happy that it is a matte finish. And you can just see from the design on the back of this phone, minus the camera bumps, right? So totally different directions with the camera module. The overall design of this phone is very similar to the Note 20, and I don't mind that at all. So I really like the way the S21 Ultra looked last year, and I do have the Phantom Black version of this one. And this one looked good. I really like this contour cut, camera module there on the back. But yeah, man, when I hold all three of these up next to each other, you can really see that design inspiration from the Note and the S21 Ultra, and they combined it. I think they did a good job at combining those two, and that's what they're going for here with the S22 Ultra. But what do you think? Like, which color would you go for, and what do you think about this overall design? Are you liking it? Let me know down in the comments. But all right, so now let's get back to the box real quick and see what we get inside of here. So I'm thinking in here, we're just gonna find a USB-C cable. Let's see if I'm right. Yes, we do. We have a USB-C and a USB-C cable here. No charger in the box, but you can buy a charger from Samsung or somewhere else that supports up to 45 watt charging. So that's what you get with this. You get 45 watt wire charging with this S22 Ultra. And as far as wireless, it does support up to 15 watts. And when you are charging this at its max speed, you can get about 50% of your battery back in just about 20 minutes. All right, let me get everything cleared off here. So this phone is using their Armor aluminum design. So basically, it's a combination of metal and glass. So on the back and the front, you do have Gorilla Glass Victus Plus to hopefully give you some really good, strong protection. And as far as like weight and stuff, it's about the same weight. It's actually the same weight as the S21 Ultra. So it comes in at 229 grams. And Samsung has increased their like recycling efforts to be able to put recycled materials in this phone and also in the packaging. And I think as far as the phone, the power and the volume buttons, the inner components of that are actually made out of recycled material. So that's a nice thing to see them kind of trying to, clean up the environment a little bit by also providing a really nice looking phone. But by far the most notable hardware change this year is going to be the embedded S Pen. So they brought this over from the Galaxy Note series. So now you have an S Pen built inside of the Galaxy S22 Ultra here. And I was expecting it to be the same color as the phone. That's what they typically do, but it does have this matte black finish here, and the tip is going to be the burgundy color that I have here. So this looks to be the same type of design from the previous Galaxy Notes S Pen. So let me take this one out, and you can see how this one matched the color of the phone. But yeah, from my first initial kind of inspection here, as far as like the hardware design, it's the same. You still get this button right here that's going to be used for air command, so you can press down and hold it and do different gestures and things to be able to have certain actions happen on the phone. Now, there are some performance upgrades with this S Pen and the S22 Ultra. So they reduced the latency from previous S Pens down from 9 milliseconds to 2.8 milliseconds. And so this is going to be quicker to react to what you're doing on the screen, and also it's going to be better at predicting, what you're doing, like what you plan on drawing or writing, to make that happen as fast as possible. And as far as like handwriting recognition, is better this year because it can recognize more languages. And for the general specs of this phone, it does have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It comes with either 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM. And basically, if you get the base 128 gigabyte version, that has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the rest of them up to 1 terabyte of storage will have 12 gigabytes of RAM. And this does have a 6.8 inch AMOLED Quad HD Plus display that does have a refresh rate that can step all the way down to 1 and go up to 120 Hertz. So that's definitely going to be better for that 5,000 milliamp hour battery inside of it. So it doesn't always have to run at a high refresh rate, so you can keep your battery going for longer. And it still does have those extra specs as far as like the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner underneath the display. It also does support 5G, both millimeter wave and sub-6. And also you do get reverse wireless charging, and also you get Wi-Fi 6E, stereo speakers, but still no micro SD card slot. Now you do have a total of 5 cameras on this thing. So you have a 40 megapixel front facing camera. Then on the back, you will find find 4 more cameras, including a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera that does have 120 degrees field of view. And also you'll find a 108 megapixel wide angle camera and 2 telephoto cameras. So the one on the left is going to be a 10 megapixel camera with 10 times optical zoom, and that's going to have that 100 times space zoom. And then the one on the right is going to have also 10 megapixels, but that will have 2 times optical zoom. Now there are a bunch of different camera enhancements, and a lot of them have to deal with software and AI being able to kind of make things better, especially at night. So with this phone, when you are taking low light video, this will be able to reduce that noise that you might see and also just increase the sharpness and the clarity of the video that you're taking. Portrait mode has gotten better with this AI stereo depth map technology, so that means that it's going to be better at recognizing little fine details like strands of hair and things to better cut you out from that blurry background. All right, so I went ahead and took a couple of portrait mode selfies with the S21 Ultra here on the left and the S22 Ultra here on the right, and let me go ahead and make my big head even bigger here to see the differences. And I will say, just off the bat, you see a difference in kind of like the saturation and skin tone here with the S22 Ultra. I think it makes my skin look good, where on the S21 Ultra, when you look at them side by side, it looks a little washed out. If I was just looking at it by itself, it looks great, but just compared to the S22 Ultra, I do see a difference there. And then as we zoom in on my hairline, that is holding on for dear life, but you can see the edge detection. Like, I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera here, but it is slightly blurrier on the S21 Ultra compared to this S22 Ultra. And again, that's dealing with the processors, dealing with the AI, dealing with all of that software enhancement that Samsung is throwing in this phone. So just from this first little test, I do see improvements here with the S22 Ultra, but of course, I'm gonna take these things outside and test them out a lot more. But first, let me know which phone you wanna see me compare the S22 Ultra's cameras against first, the S21 Ultra or the iPhone 13 Pro, Pixel 6 Pro. Anyway, let me know down in the comments. Now, Samsung is also launching this Expert RAW app alongside the S22 Ultra, so you can download it in the Galaxy Store. And this is going to be giving you things like multi-frame processing and just better control and handling of the highlights and dark areas of your photos. And this really is going to shine when you are taking RAW photos. And this does have some kind of integration with Lightroom as well, if you love using that app, which I do, to edit your photos. You're going to be getting auto tracking focus, as far as like if you tap on a subject, it'll be able to follow it and keep it always in focus. And so yeah, this app is going to be something that I'm going to take a look at to see, you know, what type of difference it is from the regular Pro mode that already comes in built in the regular camera app versus this Expert RAW app. And we're not done yet with the camera improvements. So it does have auto framing, which is a feature that can track up to 10 people using the camera on the screen at once. And then if you want, you can also tap on a person, and then as they move around, it will keep them centered. And then there is this auto FPS feature, which will allow the phone to be able to bump up or bump down your frames per second during your video, depending on the lighting condition. And then also you do have a better enhanced super steady mode, so it should be better for your shaky shots. All right, so I went ahead and got this phone set up here, and I asked Samsung, but they didn't say anything about any like significant changes to the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, but it still works really good. And so we have this 6.8-inch display, and like all Samsung phones, this thing looks really nice and looks amazing. And I don't have everything set up here, so I can't show you everything with it. And this phone is running One UI 4.1 that's running on top of Android 12. But of course, you still do have that S Pen. And there's one cool feature that they showed off, that you can use this with one of their new tablets, like the Galaxy Tab 8, and that will allow you to use the S22 Ultra as like a palette for when you are drawing or writing on the tablet, and you can use the S Pen to go between the two, so you can select your color on the S22 Ultra and then go ahead and start drawing on the tablet, and it will recognize what color that you chose. And one other thing is Snapchat integration, so basically you can take higher resolution photos with Snapchat, and also you can take night mode photos as well. And so the starting price for this phone is $1199. That starts with the 128GB version. Now they do have some pre-order bonuses this year. That means that if you do buy like the 128GB version, it will give you an automatic upgrade to the 256GB version. And the same happens when you do pre-order the 256GB version, it will automatically bump you up to 512GB. So that's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's a dangerous flip. But yeah, so this is a quick unboxing and kind of just first look at this phone. I just wanted to touch on some of those core changes this year, but of course in my full review, I'm going to hit on everything and really test this thing out next to the S21 Ultra and other phones out there when it comes to cameras and performance. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll be ready to go when I do upload those videos. And yeah, let me know what you think about this phone. What do you think about the design between these two phones here, and whether or not you can see yourself buying this phone for you? So yeah, drop that comment down below. Hit that like button if you did like this video. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace.